vocabulary words that you can use instead of good, because everyone overuses good. Good this, good this. I feel good. I ate good. The food was good. The weather's good. Everything's good. Now, everything is good, but today I am going to show you some better expressions. Right? So, if you are here for the first time, my name is David. I'm your favorite teacher. I'm a linguist. I'm a professional teacher. I've worked with thousands of people all around the world, all levels. I've studied how the brain absorbs, how the brain acquires languages. That's my specialty. I spend hours every single day researching, studying how to learn languages. But it's not so easy, guys. But I believe I have the best, the fastest method. I've helped thousands of people learn English, Spanish, and French. And if you'd like to know more about it, well, just join my WhatsApp community. That's the easiest way. If you join now, you get exclusive content that I don't share on social media. You get weekly challenges. Yesterday, we had a weekly challenge where I asked people to talk about their objectives. So you can talk about what you want from life. What do you want to accomplish? Right, that's the weekly challenge. Irena, hi Irena, welcome to class. So we also have a community. We have people from 20 different countries all over Europe. We got people from Turkey, people from India, people from South America, from Peru, from Brazil, people from Asia. We got people from everywhere. So if you want to connect, the best way is to build, relationships with others, friendships. That helps, right, when you're not alone. Right? We have a speaking club, Zoom lessons, and direct access to me. Remember, this you get a lot of input right now where you listen, you learn, you get the knowledge, but speaking is also important. And the only way you can get good at speaking is if you speak. You got to practice it, and there's no way around it. Right? You can't become a confident speaker if you don't speak. So that's why we offer the speaking club, the Zoom lessons. So it's all in the WhatsApp community. So join us. So, hi, comment. Welcome to class. So everyone says good all the time. Right? Good. Right? How are you doing? Good. Right? How was the pizza? It was good. I'm a good employee. I'm a good student. I'm a good teacher. Yes, you are. You're not good. You're great. Right? You could all say fine. Right? There's different ways. Now I'm gonna kick it up a notch. We're gonna kick it up a notch, and we're going to give you some really, really good ones. Right? So let's say this guy right here. Everyone's sad. Everyone's angry. But then you got the guy in red. Right? He's different. Which phrasal verb represents when you are different than everybody else in a positive way? Well, I guess it could also be in a negative way. But in this case, it's positive. Do you say keep out? The happy guy keeps out, stands out, shoot out, or mark out? That means you're different. You're good. No, he's everyone is sad, right? Everyone is bad, but he's good. So he is different from everyone else. When you see 100 people, the person that's smiling keeps out, stands out, shoots out, or marks out. So the good thing is to stand out. right? To stand out. Something stands out means something is better or looks better than the rest, right? Or looks different, right? You can also stand out if if everyone's happy and you're angry, well, then you also stand out. It means it's different. But in this context, we're talking about good. So we're going to focus on the positive element. Now, if you want to use this combination of stand and out to mean good. So which one is correct? Like, do you say stand outing? Do you say outstanding? Do you say standing out? Or do you say standing outing? Right, to mean really, really good. For example, I've got good student, or I got a very good student. He's different from everyone else. Everyone else, well, else is here, but one special student. And every teacher knows what I'm talking about because you have this, right? In every class, right? Most people, even if you look at society in general, 80% of people are within the norm. And then you have maybe 10% that's below the norm. They're special. They're special. And then you have 10%, and they're outstanding. Outstanding. Right. So that's kind of the general thing. Now, some people say it's 1% out of 100 people. One is outstanding. So I'm going to ask you right now, what percentage of people are outstanding? Right? What percentage? Is it 1% or less? Right? Is it, 20%? 20%. Is it 50%? 50% are outstanding, right? Or is it 80%? What do you think, guys? Now, there's no right and wrong, right? And there's a lot of different measures of outstanding, right? You can be outstanding. Uh, you can, in business, you can be outstanding with your in, at, so of course there's a lot, but in general, what percentage of people are outstanding, are awesome, are below or above the average? Right? And it's not just above the average, but outstanding is like top notch. Right. So, all right. So people are saying in the chat, most people are voting for 20%. Okay, 20% of people are outstanding. Right. So we don't know, right? There's different measures. It's pretty subjective, right? It's a subjective, but the important thing here is to understand the word outstanding, right? You can be an outstanding chef. You can be an outstanding dad. You can be an outstanding scientist. You can be an outstanding writer, an outstanding friend, right? Of course, there's a lot of areas, and it's subjective. Right? What's outstanding for you might not be outstanding for me, and vice versa. Right? So people can be outstanding. I wasn't an outstanding student, but some people say that the best teachers are not the best students. So the best student in class typically doesn't become the best teacher. Why? Because they don't empathize with the majority of students. They don't understand the position, the the normal position of a student, right? So that's why they say that people think, oh, well, the best student will become the best teacher. Not always. I've studied this many times. It's the average student or the student who just doesn't like school. That student becomes the best teacher, right? Because they understand the struggles, they understand how difficult it is to be a student. They understand, and so they make it different, right? They see the profession differently, right? So Irena says everyone is outstanding in their own way. In their own way. So let's go to the whiteboard right here. So one of the benefits of joining the WhatsApp community, guys, is that you can interact with me directly in the main chat, right? So this is available only to the people who are in the community, and I get to correct you if you want to try using this. You gotta get corrections. So here we have, yes, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Everyone is outstanding in their own way. Because it's everyone, so it's they, their own way. And this is absolutely true. This is absolutely true. All right, guys. So here we're going to move on to the presentation. The presentation was outstanding. It was a very good presentation. It really stand it out, stood it out, stood out, or stinned it out. Which form of the verb is correct? So we already know it's stand, but is it? It was outstanding. So that means it has to be in the past, right? So because if one verb is in the past, then all verbs need to be in the past. Right? So, all right. So half of you got it right. Only 50% got it right. It stood. It's it stood out from the others. The presentation stood out from the other presentations. Right? It was outstanding. Right? So it's the same words, but different order. Right? So to stand out, it's a phrasal verb. Outstanding is an adjective. It describes something. Next one. This guy. He did a fantastic job. Instead of always saying good job, he did a good job. There's nothing wrong with saying he did a good job, right? But if you wanted to add a little flavor to it, right? Speaking is all about expression. It's all about adding flavor to it. Think about it. When you eat something, you don't want something that's bland, right? If you're a chef, you don't want to cook something that's bland. If you go to a restaurant, you don't want something that's bland. You want something that's flavorful, that has an artistic side to it, different textures, different tones, different colors, different feelings, right? The same when you speak, right? Your intonation is important. The choice of words is important. A lot of people are just focused on what you're saying. What you say is important, of course. How you say it is even more important, right? So choosing the right word. He did a fantastic job. right? Consider how little time he had to prepare. Considered how little time he had to prepare. Consider, or when consider how little time he had to prepare, or considering how little time he had to prepare. Okay, so mm, this one is interesting, right? So you want to, mm, here you have two elements, right? Which is he had very little time to prepare. He he had a couple hours to prepare for the presentation, right? But regardless of that fact, regardless of the amount of time that he had to prepare, he did a fantastic job. So here you would use considering. Considering, guys. Okay, again, 50% got it right. JJ, welcome, JJ. Welcome to class. You made it. Finally, you made it. Good to see you guys. So, considering. So, here, maybe try to experiment with this structure. Right? Think of something like in the past, like he did a good job. And then the second clause needs to be something that is connected to the first clause that would typically undermine it. So let's say, so I had a great day today. Considering how busy I was, I had a great day, right? But I was very busy. So normally, if I'm very busy, that's not the greatest day because I'm running around stressed. But I had a great day considering how much work I had to do, how many meetings I had, how busy I was. And so considering, you consider this, and I had a great day, even though last week we talked about though I had a great day, even though I was very busy. So considering how busy I was, very similar to that. Right. So in the chat, write down, try to build a parallel sentence. Right? Something, and then a dependent clause that highlights the first, and that would normally negate the first clause. So the burger was, and we want to say instead of okay or good or fine, we say the burger was decrepit, the burger was deceitful, the burger was decent, the burger was amazing. All right. So here, which word? Oh, okay, good. So Irena, let's take a, so if you're here, you can do this, but we're going to correct Irena's sentence here. All right, so yes. Oh no, that's a different one. That's the one from before. Let me find it. Okay, so I, instead of I was passed, you could say I passed. I passed the test. Considering how much I studied. So remember here, in past ed, studied ed. Okay, this is how much I studied, and I passed. So both of them are in the past, therefore it's ed and ed. Okay. Um, Good. So this one's similar common. We didn't use considering. I had to visit the class, or I had to attend class, knowing how useful it would be. So this one is a similar one, right? Instead of using considering, you used another ing, which is knowing. So these two very similar, right? Because it shows a dependency, right, in the two clauses. So you knew how useful it would be, so you attended class. That's good. Right. That is amazing. All right, guys. So let's go back to this one. The burger was decent. Good. Hi, Sonia. Welcome to class. Glad you made it. Haven't seen you in class in a while. Where have you been? All right. So the burger was decent. Right. So I get a lot of questions about this because decent, if someone is decent, they're like a good person, right? I'm a decent man, right? Means I'm not I conform to standards of morality. I'm a moral person. I have good taste, right? So someone is decent, right? But in modern parlance, so parlance means modern lingo, um, decent has become appropriate. It means appropriate. Just it's okay. It's not great, right? If you say, for example, a decent pay. Did you mean Irina? Right. So if you got a decent salary, I got a decent salary. Right. Some people say that. Well, a decent salary is not like, whoa, wow, you're swimming in cash. No, decent means it's all right. It's all right. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's decent. A person who's decent is someone who is moral. Yeah, that's right, JJ. That's a good question. Someone who's moral, who follows, or you know, or who someone who has high standards of morality. That's decent. Right. Like a decent man. He's a decent man. He doesn't steal money. He's a decent man. Right. That's used a lot. People use that a lot. All right. But here, the burger was decent. Right. The food didn't look amazing, but it actually got out to be pretty decent. It actually made out to be pretty decent. It actually took out to be pretty decent, or it actually turned out to be pretty decent. Right? So look at that. Look at those pancakes. Well, it doesn't look amazing. I mean, it looks amazing if you're five, right? Now the food didn't look amazing. It wasn't, it didn't have this culinary look, but in the end, it it was okay. It was pretty good. So here you have pretty decent, which means like pretty good. So pretty good means it's more than good, right? It's like, but it's not very good. So very good, pretty good, and then good, right? But here you can't say, well, you can say pretty decent, but you can't say very decent. Pretty decent means more than okay, but a little bit more than okay. So it turned out to be. So here we want to use turn out to be. meaning in the end, it surprisingly you ended up being good. So, for example, the guy at the gym, he looked looked like a thug, like an angry guy, right? But he turned out to be quite nice. He looked like a criminal, but he turned out to be quite decent. Turned out to be a good guy. He turned out to be nice. Right? So at first you say something that's kind of negative. Right? The food didn't look amazing. The food looked like a dog's breakfast. But it turned out to be pretty decent. It turned out to be pretty good. It turned out to be delicious. Right? Um Good, good, good. All right. Next one. If the weather holds up, stands up, takes up, or hits up, it should be a great day for hiking. So, of course, everyone knows this. Instead of using good, you can use great. A great day for hiking. But here we want to say that if the weather is still good, right? If the weather continues to be good, if it doesn't rain, right? If the wind doesn't blow, if the skies continue to be blue, it should be a great day for hiking. Right. It should be a great day for hiking. So if the weather holds up, stands up, takes up, or hits up. All right. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, good. Good, good. So more questions about decent. If it's reliable, I think that's more specific. Decent is more general. So I mean it involves reliable, right? But yeah, not always. It's not a one-to-one. Does it mean appropriate? In some contexts. But no, I wouldn't say I wouldn't say that it means appropriate as a general rule, right? Um, but yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, in some context is important, guys. Right? Context is very, very important. So, for example, um, he dressed decently for the party. Yeah, that means he dressed appropriately. That's good. That works. All right, so if the weather holds up, very good, guys. Everyone got it. If the weather holds up, it should be a great day for hiking. Next one, when something is absolutely correct or perfect, is it spot up, spot over, spot down, or spot on? Absolutely correct. Absolutely. So like, wow, this pizza is spot up, spot over, spot down, spot on. Meaning this pizza is so good. It's perfect. It hits the spot. That's another great expression. If something hits the spot, it means it is absolutely perfect. All right. So let's see. Choose the correct one. Right. And this is, of course, this is slang, right? It's kind of, they call it the subculture, right? But a lot of this stuff eventually becomes mainstream, right? So maybe 5, 10 years ago, if someone had, wow, that's spot on. Spot on means yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly right. And you can use it in different contexts. You can say, hey, someone says something that's very interesting and you want to agree, say, oh, spot on. All right. Or this, this burger hit the spot. It was spot on. Um, yeah, but spotless is different. That's a different thing, different context. That means, like, let's say it's clean. So, for example, my apartment is spotless. It's not, but the the sentence is correct. It means it's super clean. It's spotless. Okay, now it's good. It's a different definition, but it has the same base. Right. So it has the suffix, which is what goes in after the word. So spot is the common root, and then the suffix here is less. Spotless means very clean. Good, good, good. All right. So her English has improved a lot. Her accent is now really natural, and her grammar is spot on. Right? It's correct. It's perfect. It's very good. Right? It's spot on. Right? So try to use some of these guys. Okay, I want to see if you can integrate these expressions into your vocabulary, because you know understanding it, understanding the expression, that's one thing. Being able to use it, that's something else. That's where the chat comes in handy, because in the chat you can actually use it with your own ideas, and then I can tell you if it makes sense, because a lot of these things are nuanced. When you get to the advanced levels, you realize that a lot of things are nuanced. You use things in some contexts but not in others, right? And that's where the nuance comes in. You're like, oh, it can be the correct word, the correct definition, but most native speakers will be like, well, you know, I wouldn't say it like that, right? You hear that a lot, where it's the right grammar, the right word, the right definition, but it sounds off. That's where the nuances come into play, right? So good, good, good. It has improved a lot, meaning, right? It's it's in the past, right? She improved in the past, but it has an effect in the present. That's why it's the present perfect. It has improved a lot. Has improved because the focus is right now. It has improved. It started, she did the work before, but you see the improvement today in the present. So it has improved a lot. Her accent is now really natural, right? That's a very hard thing. But if you're a kid, like the girl in the picture, you know, you can work on it's much easier to work to have a natural accent when you're younger. Why? People say, why is that? Well, it all has to do with the muscles, the vocal muscles. When you're young, your muscles are flexible, right? You can make different sounds. You can train your vocal cords to produce the sounds, because not you have thousands of muscles in your in, in your mouth and your throat and your tongue. Even your tongue has muscles. Can you believe that? But even your nose too, because the breathing, all the nasal sounds, all that has to do with with speaking. When you speak, you use thousands of muscles, and every language uses the muscles, the vocal muscles, differently. So the muscles that you will use in French, for example, French has a lot of nasal sounds, but they use a lot of the throat muscles. But Spanish, a lot of tongue. So Spanish, that's why the roll the R, that's all tongue, right? They have a lot of the Z on Castilian Spanish, the C and the Z, that's the Barcelona. The rolled R, the S, it's a lot of tongue. So Spanish uses a lot of tongue. French uses a lot of throat and a lot of nose, a lot of nasal sounds, right? So it's important, right? This is why kids are better able to get natural accents. So the weather forecast was spot on. Yeah, that's a good one. It was spot on. They were right. They got it right. What a surprise. Great sentence comment. So spot on. Your sentence is spot on. Good. I wouldn't say the movie was brilliant, but it was definitely worth watch, worth to watch, worth watching, worth to watching. What does this mean? Well, brilliant, that's the word. It's instead of saying good or very good, you could say brilliant, fantastic, amazing. Right? Brilliant. I love that word. Right. Comes to like if you know Spanish, brillar, which means to shine. Brillant. Right? It shines. It's different. It has a glow. So it's brilliant. Now in this case, it just means like very well done. Now, I watched a couple weeks back, I watched F1, the movie with Brad Pitt. And, I wouldn't say the movie was brilliant. So I wouldn't say, wow, this is, a masterpiece. It was good, right? Great special effects if you like cars and races. And if you've ever been to an F1, I think they really capture like the energy of the F1 event and the racing and they did a good job. They did a good job with the characters, all right? And I like Brad Pitt. I know it's controversial. Some people, have different opinions. I think he's one of the legends of our generation. I grew up watching Fight Club and 7 Years in Tibet and all these classics, right? Classics. And he's been around for a while, right? So it's good to see him in his 60s still making movies, right? But, was the movie brilliant? No, I think his last one, which I think was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think that was a brilliant movie by Quentin Tarantino. I think that was brilliant. He's a brilliant director. Tarantino, brilliant director. But this one, it was good. It was definitely worth watching, guys. Right. So how many people? Let's see. Oh, everyone got it right. Wow. Okay, that's good. It was worth watching. Right? It was worth watching. Right? It's not a waste of time. Right? It's worth it. So worth and then ing. A lot of people say worth to watch. No, worth watching. It's worth visiting. Right? It's worth tasting. So, yeah, yeah, Brad are spot on. Yeah. The movie was spot on, right? It's definitely worth watching. All right, here. He's not just a reliable employee, right? So he's not only, he's more than that. right? So when you want to say he's this and this, a way to say that, like he's reliable and he's good. He's not only, or he's not just a reliable employee, he consistently goes. Now, here, choose the correct combination. He goes far and above. He goes above and below. He goes above and beyond, or he goes far and wide. So this means that he does more than what is expected of him, right? He doesn't cut corners, right? He goes the extra mile. So he's reliable, but he's more than reliable, right? He's more than reliable. He does more. If you tell him, hey, I want 100 pages, he'll give you 120. If you say, hey, I want you to sell $1 million this month, and he sells 2 million, right? He goes above and beyond. Very good, guys. Everyone got it. So above and beyond, more than what is expected, right? The extra mile. The book was so engaging that I couldn't put it down, drop it down, hand it down, or close it down, right? It was a good book, but instead of saying like it was a good book, that's not descriptive, guys. Not descriptive. Right? This is what I keep telling you about, adding emotions, adding details, adding flavor to your communication. Instead of saying, oh, the book was good. Well, okay, that's good. Good or bad. Okay, it's good. But you say the book was so engaging, right? It adds a little bit more emotion. It's like it took all of your attention. You couldn't stop reading it, right? It really captivated you, and you couldn't put it down. Okay, guys, so how many people got it? Only 33% of you got it right. Yeah, you couldn't put it down. If you put something down, in this case, the book, you can't put it down, means you can't stop. Basically, you can't stop reading. You can't put it down. So, have have you read a book? Have you read a book? Have you recently read a book? Recently read a book that you couldn't put down? Yes or no? Right. Have you recently read a book? Right, one of these books that you stay up all night reading it. It's so engaging, it's so captivating, and you just can't put it down. You keep reading and reading and reading and reading. I love those books. I love those books. I haven't read one like that recently. I'm reading several great books. Great books. But that I can say that I wasn't able to put down. Probably more than a few months ago. Right. The last one was probably The Europeans, the book by Orlando Fidges called The Europeans. I couldn't put that one down. But that's probably the last one. All right, so 66% said yes, that's good. Replay. Ooh, okay. That's a good one. That you couldn't put it down. Nice. Nice. So she gave me some helpful advice that really got in handy, that really came in handy, that really made in handy, or that really stepped in handy. Meaning it was useful. It was useful, guys. So when something, the verb is either get in handy, come in handy, made in hand, make in handy, or step in handy means it's useful. So when something is useful, it gets in handy, comes in handy, makes in handy, or steps in handy. All right, guys, choose the correct one. Ooh, all right. Well, that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a problem because nobody got it right. 0% of you got it right. So think about this. What comes in handy when in the summer? So imagine what are some things, write in the chat, what comes in handy during the summer months. So I'll tell you what, right? A good hat comes in handy during the summer months. A good hat. I bought a very nice hat a couple weeks ago, a straw hat, right? So it comes in handy because it keeps your head. First of all, it protects you from the sun, not just your face, but also your scalp. Right. It also keeps your head cool. Right. So it gives you some shade, it keeps your head cool. It's also straw, so it doesn't get sweaty. So it keeps it dry. So a straw hat comes in handy when it is really hot. Insect repellent comes in handy if you are camping. Right? Sunscreen comes in very handy. Right? A swimsuit comes in handy. Okay. All right. So here, it's just really. That's the only thing. She gave me some helpful advice that really came in handy. Right? That's all it is. Really, it really came. The advice really came in handy. Okay, that's it. There's nothing there, JJ. It's just really. Okay, that's the only thing that you're missing. All right. Good. Although the service was slow, the staff were extremely attentionful, attentionful, attentful, attenting, or attentive, meaning they paid attention to you. All right, the staff, the waiters, right? The waiters, they answered your questions, right? If you needed something, they were there. They paid close attention to you. They made you feel welcome. Although the service was slow, the staff were extremely attentive. Good job, guys. 50% got it right. Attentive and made us feel welcome. Right? So here again, Instead of saying, oh, the waiters were good. The waiters were good. The staff was good. The food was good. The food was succulent. Right. Right. Instead of saying, so yeah, be a little bit more descriptive, right? Don't be afraid to use, words, right? Mouth watering. The food was mouth watering. The food was flavorful, right? The food was delectable. The food was succulent, right? Instead of, oh, the staff, the waiter was good. The waiter was attentive. He was very attentive, right? He was very, the staff, the waiter, but also the host, right? The host, they were, yeah, they were noticing, right? They were mindful. They were vigilant, right? They took care of us. Okay. So, all right, guys. So that concludes our lesson. So remember, guys, the best way to learn English is to join these live streams, to join the WhatsApp community. If you're here, then this is your invitation to join the exclusive community where you get weekly challenges, community, speaking club, Zoom lessons, direct access to me. Right? These, you can ask questions. That's where I post all the updates for the live streams. Sometimes that's good. For example, today I was running a little bit late, so I told everyone in the community, hey guys, I'm going to be a few minutes late. Right? If there's a surprise live stream, for example, I say, okay, I have a little bit of free time. I'm going to go live. You'll be the ones to know in the WhatsApp community. So it's really, really good. And of course, you can join the speaking groups. You can practice your conversation skills in the speaking club, right? It's a great, great option. So join the learning community. It's free. Just drop, comment, or send me a message, a DM, and I will send you the link. Okay, so take care, Carmen. Good to see you. Sonia, nice to see you. Marvelous. That's a good one. Good job. A marvelous lesson. So instead of a good lesson, it was a marvelous lesson. Good to see you, Irena. Good to see you, JJ, and everyone on social media who is watching. Join us, right? It's a very nice group of people here. Very nice community, and it's the best way to get results is to engage, join this conversation, join these classes, and then you'll be able to speak confidently. Okay, guys, take care, and as always, have a great evening, and bye-bye. Okay, take care, guys.